It's been like patchwork.
It has been.
No offense to our cohorts that we've grabbed, but it's patchwork.
And now you got the dream team.
The dream team. We got a great episode. We'll have one guest. And you know, if we only have one guest, we're going to dive into it. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty. It's going to be amazing. A guy that you'll want to learn about because he's hands-on. He's in the fire with us.
Yes, and he's smart.
And he's smart. We're going to pick that brain, and maybe it'll rub off. I wish I was sitting as close as you are.
Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, that's why I picked this seat.
All right, here we go. Okay. So we are lucky because we have Max Hamilton, who is joined us in the last couple weeks and is just been thrown in the deep end of the Performance Center and been asked to do a lot of things. So we'll dive into all that. So Max, first off, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Appreciate it. So why don't you give some context, where you're from, how did you find your dad, and how you found my dad?
I was born in Wenatchee, Washington. I spent 19 years out there in high school, that sort of thing. And then went out to Bozeman, Montana for college, got a degree in microbiology. Stayed there for 10 years in total, and then I had the opportunity to come down here, stay with my dad for a little bit, save up some money, and here I am.
Okay.
Wow, that's a big change from Washington, Montana. What do you think of Arizona?
It's good. It's definitely getting hot, but we'll see if I survive the first summer.
Will this be your first summer then that you've officially spent time down here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, buckle up. There's no easy way around it.
Yeah, you know, next Saturday it's going to be 110.
Is it?
It's coming, and then it'll be 118, and then we'll hit a few 120s.
And then it'll be December.
And then it'll be August, and it'll be humid.
And awful.
And August is the worst month.
Oh.
Do you agree?
Well, yes, but September's bad because you hope it's better by then.
It's literally Halloween.
It's Halloween.
And then you're clear sailing.
Yeah.
But Bozeman and all of Montana, that's cold, man. Mm-hmm. You were saying on the walk over, I mean, you dealt with feet of snow in -20.
Yeah, I think there was about 2 feet of snow on the ground before I left, and temps were right around -20, -15.
Wow.
So it was getting down here in December, end of December, early January. It was pretty funny seeing people walk around in like puffy jackets.
Yeah, you're like,
yeah.
I know.
Winter garb and
drive down?
I did, yeah.
Oh, that's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it was a really nice drive for sure. Lots of pretty views.
All right, so there's a lot to unpack with microbiology.
Oh.
Because I think anybody that wants to tackle the sciences,
they're born smart.
They're born smart.
Yeah.
You don't just go into that.
You and I, no. So tell us, as a kid growing up, what drew you to that field, and what are you hoping to do with that?
Well, growing up, I always really wanted to be a doctor originally, and then as I got a little bit closer to college, I really kind of learned what it was going to take as far as medical school, all the studying, what your life was kind of expected to be like once you actually became a doctor and everything. And I kind of took a step back and was like, I'm not so sure about this. And a friend of mine actually wrote me into one of his research grants. And in doing so, he got me a job in this lab where I started doing some research in microbiology. And I kind of found my love for science there, and also just doing research in general. So I was lucky to get in pretty early.
So tell me more about the grant. What was it for?
It's been a while. We were looking at MRSA, which is methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. I think in horse populations, but like I said, it's been a long time. Most of the work I was doing was pretty basic, just helping the graduate students with what they were doing. So
but you liked it, the research
I really liked
part.
it. Yeah, being in the lab and getting to play with petri dishes and microscopes and all the fun stuff. So.
That was my daughter. Same thing. She wanted to go to medical school and all those things, and she loved the research part.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
So what's your plan now? Will it be to go back in that kind of the laboratory setting? And is Arizona have a big influx of, we have so much of I don't even know, Honeywell. There's just so many big corporations, and is it your hope to stay here? Kind of survive the summer and be like...
Yeah, that'll be the test, right? If I make it through.
We'll talk to you in October.
Yeah, my plan's to stay here for now. There's a lot of job opportunities here compared to back where I was. It was just kind of getting a little bit stagnant as far as career stuff goes. But just kind of explore and see what's out there. I had a temporary job at Sonora Quest for 3 months before this position, and I enjoyed that. It was more on the clinical side of things than research. But
and did you get when you did that, did you get any COVID stuff? Were you dealing with any of the COVID?
That's why it was a temporary position. As the federal budget cuts and everything kind of ended the job, but. That's all we were doing was COVID PCR testing. So it was, I think at the peak of it, we were doing about 35,000 tests every day.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Did they get monotonous? Just tests.
Yeah, there was a lot of repetition.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, but it was a good gig though.
Yeah. I bet you've seen a lot coming out of that college atmosphere right into a lab, and then just see the behind the scenes what the normal population takes for granted, and all of these testing and all of the behind the scenes things that have to happen
absolutely.
to get these results. Like, we want them fast, and you're like, dude, I'm sitting on, it's not like we don't want to give them to you, but
yeah, it's an insane amount of work and just sheer man hours that go into all of that, but lots of jobs for people though.
Yeah
COVID did that. It changed that kind of job. People looking into things we didn't know.
No, you're right. And now we got you here.
Yeah.
That's
so
correct.
We are lucky to tap into this brain.
No
and
kidding.
Kind of like utilize what you're good at, which is just getting projects done. I can tell that from him right away, right? Just give me 3 or 4 things, project, and I'll knock it out.
Yep.
And one of those is calculating our university accrued credit hours per resident. And it is a big task, and we kind of dumped it on you.
Yep.
We had our first graduating class, for those that didn't know, last September, right before the semester. And we're looking at graduating another class. We had a lot of people right on the edge.
Yes.
And we were sticklers. 1 credit short.
Right.
We were like official, right?
Well, we got to be self-appointed deans of our university.
Yes.
So.
And so here we are, though. We're sitting on a lot of bodies. So you're in the process. So tell us how that's going.
It's going well. There's a little bit of organization that needs to be done, and kind of laying everything out to go through and add everything up. But it seems like all the information's there that I need, so it's just kind of putting my head down and getting it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And can you tell yet how many graduates we'll have?
I'm not that far into it yet.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I've kind of been laying everything out and
But
getting
this is
organized.
early.
But,
It is early for us. I mean, in perspective of a microbiologist saying we're not organized.
Right.
I mean, it's...
Well, exactly. I mean, we knew fairly early in the summer last year.
Yeah, no.
I can't wait. It's so fun.
It was
so
the best
fun.
party of the year.
It was. It was so exciting. Yeah.
We'll have, my guess is we're going to get 23.
Ooh.
I'm going to say 23.
23 more?
That's like if in Vegas, I'm going to go over under 23. What would you say?
Oh, I'm going to go 17.
Well, you just would say under. Then you have to
I'm sorry.
limit yourself to a number.
Under.
Just say under.
I'm going
Just
under.
going under.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you've been involved in that. You've also been involved in the walking team challenge, calculating the winners.
Yep. We got that all finished up. I'm not going to say who it is just yet. That information will be out soon. So.
Okay. Yep. All right. I like that. Just teasing.
Yeah.
Teasing
Like
it.
somebody knows.
There was a pretty clear winner though.
It was pretty
there was quite the gap.
defined.
Yeah.
That's the way it was our first go around. It was like the doors blown off the entire contest from one team. And then it was a battle for second. And then the second challenge, it was a little more competitive.
Right.
And it was a battle right to the last week. But you're saying this was a clear cut.
Yeah. Yeah, it was it was a for sure
Wasn't
victory,
even
that's
close.
for sure. No.
Wow.
But a lot of I enjoy how many miles total accrued.
Yeah.
I think that's the story.
I agree.
And that
And
was
how
the
many-
story in getting our grant.
Well, and how many people love it?
How many people
And they're
love it?
really into it.
Oh yeah. I think we had over 3,000 total miles.
Yeah, and
which is quite
that's
a few.
about. What's funny is that's about the number we've hit every time.
Really?
At least
We could
over that
travel
3,000.
the whole United States.
But when we got the grant for the outdoor
Yes.
equipment, which we're going to talk about, because I'm getting a lot of people like, "What are you doing over there?" A lot of that was language of the 3,000 miles accrued.
That's
by
what
this-
we used. You're
that's what
right.
we used. Mm-hmm. So you got to see perspective. Seniors putting in that many miles. How are you, as you sit down there and you watch everybody coming down to work out, and your dad, and we'll get into him, but like, what's your perspective of watching this Zoe life in action?
It's a lot different than I thought it was going to be. I mean, everybody's got a lot of energy and seem lively and healthy and everything. And even without asking anyone, what kind of benefits they've been seeing, I've been hearing a lot of, I feel more confident when I'm walking around. I don't think I'm going to fall. Or, I saw a funny video I think you filmed about somebody talking about some muscles that were growing on them. But yeah, it seems like it's been a really good thing for the residents, and I'm just impressed with the overall quality of the whole facility and in the gym, and especially, and all the programs you guys have as well.
That's cool.
Oh,
I
wow.
love hearing, especially young guys, right?
Yeah.
Like come in, and we get that a lot with we have our occupational therapy student that's engaged.
Yeah, she's
and
great.
She's doing the VR work, but to get some of these out of school, like especially the Midwestern students too,
Right.
They're like, this place is unbelievable.
It is so fun because we're in it. We
Yeah,
think
you
this
take it for
seems
granted.
normal, but
Yeah.
it's not.
And especially as you drive by, you don't really understand what's actually happening.
No, you
in
have to
this
go
building.
in and check it out. And did your dad tell you about it before you came, or was it kind of a surprise? Did he?
He talks about it quite a bit, actually. He was pretty excited about it. But, you know how it is when someone's hyped up about, like, a job or a project they're involved in. It's like you got to take it with a grain of salt sometimes. And so I didn't really know, no disrespect to him, but
Oh gosh.
I didn't really know what to expect until I came down and saw it. And it definitely exceeded expectations. So.
Now, your dad obviously works out, and did you grow up in that environment?
I
like
did,
working
yeah.
out and exercise was
Yeah, we used to go to the gym together
essential.
quite
Yeah.
a bit, even when I was quite young. But I didn't stick with it very as much as he has. But lately, I've been getting more and more into it. But
What's your back? Now I know he was wrestling, and what was your background in sports?
played a lot of basketball, of course. I'm tall. It kind of goes without saying.
Yep.
And then around high school, I kind of got sick of that and was considering playing football, but instead I played lacrosse for a couple of years, which was not a big thing at all on the small town West Coast where I was at. It's more of an East Coast thing at that time. So
Right.
it was kind of like a little ragtag group of people, wearing hockey pads and not lacrosse pads and stuff. But so that was really fun, but it was more of like a club thing than like.
I wish lacrosse would be what it is on the East Coast over here. We've got all these kids that want to play football, but football's kind of like tailoring off a little bit, I feel like. And they would be so good at lacrosse.
I agree.
Like, my kid played it, and he started late, and I was like, "Oh, this would have been the perfect sport to start him young."
Yes, my nephews all played. It was so fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. I enjoyed it.
So you work out. You're an outdoor kind of guy.
Yeah. I definitely miss the mountains and the snow and everything a little bit, especially as it's getting warmer. But
Have you been up to Flagstaff or?
I have, yeah. I drove
Okay.
through it. I guess I haven't really spent much time there, but it looks really beautiful, and there's trees up there and everything. Which
Yeah,
is
I know.
Some
That's-
things that resemble mountains.
You can, when we get to the heat of the summer, and we're almost there. You get in your car, tell your dad, I want to go to the rim up in Payson just to get elevated a little bit, and then just drive around the rim. You're on top of the world. And it
Yeah.
is such a cool perspective up there in Pine Top, Payson, Sholo,
Yes,
and you're
then
cooler 20 degrees.
Alpine is like the highest place in Arizona. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And not very inhabited.
Now, you don't know this.
Ooh.
These two, his dad and him, live literally on a lake.
What?
Tell us about what are you guys doing on this lake? Because I am so jealous.
There's a lot of people that fish on it, and I haven't gotten around to doing that. I need to get a fishing pole, but
Where is it at, though?
it's out in Peoria.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's a lake in Peoria.
yeah. It's most likely man-made. I think. I don't. think
Yeah,
there's too
most of
many-
our lakes are.
But it's a lake, not a pool. Like
So
a lake.
where?
It's out in Peoria. I mean, I don't know if I should give the neighborhood name.
Don't give her the
I don't
neighborhood.
want anybody
Oh.
stalking me.
No, don't give her the neighborhood. Because
Okay.
they're going to come want him to be microbiology guy. On all,
But a lake.
but a
Wow.
lake. But we kayak every night. I hear you guys are just open the
we've-
living room door and you're on the water.
Yeah, it's definitely like a stone's throw from the door. But yeah, we've got a kayak and a canoe, and then when he bought the house, actually it came with a pontoon boat, so with a little electric motor. There's actually a lot of them on the lake. You'll see people zipping around and
And you
having a
guys
good
are
time.
redoing this cabin or house or whatever
Yeah.
it is, and that's just
And
amazing.
it's not far, right? It's not a long drive to work.
No, it's like 4 miles.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
your
real
dad
close.
probably runs here.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe, but
Not now.
Probably.
Yeah. Wow,
Well,
that's great.
I'm envious. I mean, we all live on top of each other in the suburbs in Phoenix, and to hear I'm redoing a house on the water, that's like dreams, man.
yeah, it's certainly beautiful. I'm very lucky to be able to stay out there and just have that right in the backyard,
Yes,
Absolutely.
you are. Now, what about siblings? Do you have any?
Yeah, I have an older sister. She lives out in Seattle. She works as an optician out there.
Okay.
She's been out there since after college, so quite a few years now.
Yeah. You don't miss Washington, or?
I mean, I do at times.
So beautiful.
You know, it's easy when it's really cold, like when I was up in Montana, to, you know, look at a place like this and be like, oh, it must be so nice. And then I'm sure after a while we'll get used to it and start complaining about
it
the heat.
It never quits being sunny. It's
Yeah.
always sunny in Philadelphia and Phoenix.
We haven't had rain in
I can't remember what it looks like.
months.
No. I just heard today, like 97% of the state, 87 is in drought, like serious drought.
But yet we haven't had these fires. I mean, I know we had the one on the rim, just a little one, but they said not a crazy amount
and
of fire.
it's so windy. How's this
What is going on with the wind? Is it windy in Montana?
Not like this.
Not like this.
It was
there's
never like
times-
that.
It was never like this.
This is different.
Yeah.
I feel like we live in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is always windy.
Our Flagstaff is always windy. I mean, I'm a native, so I have never noticed wind.
All right, so last question, and we're going to get you out of here. If you had your perfect job, and it's not calculating university for, I know you got the perfect job right now.
Yeah,
You get to watch seniors thrive in ZoeLife. Like, that's a pretty perfect job.
It is.
But in your world of microbiology, what would you be doing?
I think probably going back into research, maybe not academic research, but like for a startup or something.
Ooh.
I've had a little bit of experience doing that in the past, and it was probably about as good as it gets.
Okay, because we're going to throw this out in the
love
universe
that.
right now. We're going to throw it out. This is going to go viral, and we're going to get him his dream job under ZoeLife. Like, this is the dream job.
Well,
but then after
other
that,
than
in his
this.
world of microbiology.
Second best, yeah.
So a startup, research-oriented, involving what? Like, what would fire you up?
I kind of got into like mycology stuff, specifically like mushrooms in the last job I was working at. So something in that kind of realm would be really interesting, but I'm open to anything.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, we've tapped into them. A lot of residents know on the eSTEM pain management magic box, we're doing so much neuropathy, and we're doing foot after foot after foot. I mean,
how is it?
It's unbelievable. So we've got probably 70 people we've worked through, probably 35 have been on feet. And one of our residents, I don't want to say who, brought in a cream that he purchased on TV for neuropathy, and took it right to the microbiologist. So what is in this? And what was it? It was peppers?
Capsaicin, yeah. So just peppers, basically.
Peppers, basically. But it's fun to have that.
Does it help?
My dad was actually reading up on it, and it sounded like it actually was promising.
Really?
Yeah.
And natural. Oh, I love that.
It smells like it has some menthol and maybe cinnamon in it as well. But
Right. Probably so you could stand the
But
smell.
it's all about getting the nerves to wake up.
I love
so
it.
it draws
That
it in
makes
and
sense.
gets stuff to wake up. But then we're using the box, and we are unveiling. I don't want to tip my hand, but this neuropathy stuff with Midwestern chiming in is going to be chef's
Yes.
kiss. It's going to be amazing.
Right.
So, well, Max, we're going to let you go. You are a welcomed addition to this team because you elevated our intellect light speeds.
Which wasn't easy.
We have the energy. We needed a little bit of the brain. And but we appreciate your time, because it is like some projects that we're throwing your way need to get done.
Right.
And we are grateful because you take a lot off our plate to be able to do that stuff.
No problem.
So,
I'm happy to be here.
and
Thank
you're
you
in the
guys.
Performance Center. That's where you hang your hat. And so anybody that is calling, as they would back in the day for Michelle, you've jumped in on that role.
I'm the guy.
You're the guy on the phone. You're the guy scheduling and
Nice.
getting things done. So if you call down at the Performance Center and want to make an appointment assessment with Mark, you're going to be talking to this guy,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
All right. Appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Kay, what a show.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean,
What?
I feel smarter.
Well, you know what? You seem smarter.
I feel smarter.
I think. Do you think it rubbed off?
Do I think it rubbed off?
I am feeling
Fingers
it.
crossed.
Yeah.
I could use a little of
You
what
know-
he's got.
We could start doing our own research project. We don't know what we'd research.
Well, I
but
know what I am excited. Honestly, we touched on it at the end on
Yes.
the neuropathy program.
Oh, I'm so excited about
What
that.
is coming for our residents? Because we've touched on it with the box, and I have so many people with neuropathy. But what I want to do with that is take
Yes.
it next level, where Midwestern and some acupuncturists and reflexologists and massage therapists and naturopathic medicine guys are all tag teaming the idea of what we could do for neuropathy.
Oh my gosh. You know, that would change so many people's lives.
Can I tell you? I'm probably tipping my hat, but I got to say,
Go ahead.
Can I tell you what
Yes.
we're going to call this?
Oh,
Zotos. Zotos.
ZoeTv.
Because the toes create
Yes.
all the nerves, so
Yes.
Zotos.
So why
and we're
wouldn't it
making
be
a compression. We're
ZoeTv?
making prototypes. It's a whole. I'm using the microbiologist, basically smartest guy in the room, to help create some amazing things for Zotos.
Okay, but let me guess. You thought of the name ZoeTv.
Yeah, it's with that and the marketing guy. I'm like the energy guy.
Wait.
He's the smart guy.
Wait, can we make some of those socks that have the toes?
You're reading my mind. It's already been. What do you think my prototype is?
You are kidding.
Every
I love
toe's going to
those.
have the color of the ZoeLife, and they're going to compress
Okay,
the toes.
All right.
It's
We
a
are
purposeful.
smart. We think
are
alike.
smart. We are smart.
Look at us. Because
Thanks,
you
Max.
didn't tell me that.
I didn't. No, for real.
Felt it.
All right, no more. I've already said too much, but that's coming. It's going to be amazing.
I
and
want
Max
Zoetos. Okay.
is going to be a big piece of the puzzle.
Great.
Because we're going to have his intellect, honestly, help us do some research behind what we need
That's
within the
what we
program.
need.
So we're excited. Okay, I'm going to get on to another topic because we only got a few minutes. Orientation is this week, June 8th, 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Orientation is designed for new residents that have moved in, and we try to do one orientation a month.
yes.
When I got sick and had to go on the shelf, we missed a few months, so we've got a list a mile long of residents that have moved in.
Right.
You are going to be given an invitation here, if you probably already have it, but it is Wednesday at 1 o'clock in the university room.
Yes.
So if you are a new resident and you have not received an invitation, that's okay. I want you to call the university number, call Carol and administration. Let us know that you want to come so we can hold a seat for you. But come, because
Oh, yeah, it's so
it
fun.
is so good. It's an hour and a half, which is a little bit of time, but GCA, resident reps, they get the first half in just talking about the handbook and onboarding new residents in the culture that is GCA and resident rep and the
Right.
ins and outs of Glencroft. And then we come in the second half of ZoeLife, and you get to hear from the horse's mouth about ZoeLife. You get to hear from Kay about the foundation. You get to hear from Stan on all the good spiritual stuff. You get to hear from Milan on dining services, Ross and Tiffany on the social pillar. And so we try to bring to the table everybody involved in ZoeLife and just explain it and sign you up for all the programs and register. And it's just a very fun time. So
And not at all intimidating.
No, gosh,
it really
no.
isn't. It's informative and fun and interesting
Absolutely,
and a
absolutely.
one-stop shop.
So I've got a list of 30 residents that are on the docket to have an invitation. But again, if you didn't get one and you feel like, I just want to do that. I've
Yeah.
lived here longer than that, but I didn't do
Right.
that. Like, I want to do that.
Right.
You let us know. We make sure you have a seat at the table.
Oh, I love it.
Okay? What else you want to talk about? We got a few minutes.
Well, okay. I mean, we did touch on it, but I can't believe the semester's over.
I know.
And it was so good. And one thing that was great was I have received several ideas or thoughts from some of you about what you'd like to see next semester.
Yeah.
Please let me know.
Absolutely.
So many of the people that we've had present were because you said, I'd like to know about this.
Yes.
And we've got some exciting ones coming up. I have a police officer that's going to teach a couple different classes.
Very cool.
I think it's going to be great.
Yep.
So, and our favorite event of the year is coming up.
Graduation?
Graduation. Well, besides the socks, the Tozos.
Zotos.
ZoeTv.
Now, graduation it was the highlight of the year for me.
It was amazing.
And I cannot wait to see what Max tabulates and figures out. Here are the names, and then we run with the party.
Yes.
We run with the party. He comes up with the name. So if you don't get picked, blame Max. Don't blame us.
Right.
Blame yourself. You didn't do enough credits. It is what it is.
That's it. And it's not or and. And it's not too late to turn in the surveys. If you watched classes from
Yes,
home and they're
yeah.
sitting on your desk,
Please.
let us know. Those add up
count.
for hours.
Absolutely. Okay.
So,
I am officially, when you watch this, we'll be gone. I will be having surgery on June 10th. Actually, you'll see this, and I'll still be here.
I was going to say.
Yeah, no, it's the next week.
Are we going into a time mark?
I am in denial that this is happening, but it is. And so many of you out there are praying for me.
Yes, we are.
I'm so thankful because I need it, because this is, I talked to the surgeon and he said, this isn't a little deal. Like, I'm taking a big chunk of your intestine and we're going to reconnect it and you're going to be okay. But
he's going to be fine, but you've got to relax and you've got to take care of you.
I know. So I'm going to be gone a couple weeks, but I'll be at home working behind the scenes, getting ready for ZoeTvs and all that fun stuff. But any and all thoughts out there are appreciated. I know so many of you reached out to me and given me the best of luck, hugs and all that, and I appreciate all those, because nobody wants to do surgery. You've been through the ringer. We've both been through the ringer. So this should be the final chapter.
We've both been through sort of the same thing in the same year.
It's crazy.
And we both thought of
and yet we've never had COVID.
Socks. No.
I know, it's like, it's crazy.
We're too smart for COVID.
We're too smart for COVID. On that note, we're out of here. Too smart for you, COVID.